Hey everyone, welcome to my yard. I am out here. It's a beautiful day and I wanted to take you guys along with me as I do soil testing. Not the most glamorous task, but I wanted to be sure to know what is in my soil, what is going on with my soil, what is the pH like, what are the nutrients that are in there, do I need to add or take away anything for optimal growth for my plants? So that's what I'm doing. So I've already done one test on one bed, and so I kind of have a hang of how to do it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and I will link the test that I'm using down below so that if you're interested in testing your soil, now's the time to do it before we start planting. That you can do it too. So let's go check out the garden here. All right, so this is the bed that I tested. You see the hole that I made. This used to be, last season, it was my cucumber and patty pan squash bed, and I had some carrots in there that I never harvested, as you can see. So, but yeah, it was, I just called it my cucumber bed. So took it kind of from the middle, and we're gonna go over here. Today was a little bit warmer, it was in the 50s, and I wanted to test these beds the other day, but the ground was frozen, so I couldn't get a sample. But these two beds were my tomato and pepper beds, and also had some sage and basil. But I want to see, I know that different plants need different nutrients, and some plants take up, it's still pretty hard. And the test says to go a couple, 2 to 3 inches down. So I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Because I don't want to take, because on the top here is just mulch. So I don't want to test that. I want to actually get the soil, but as you can see, it's still pretty frozen. So we're gonna have to do a different bed. Let's see, this bed, let's try to do this one, because this one was my zucchini bed. Okay, perfect. All right, this one is not frozen. I mean, look at this, is a great example of microclimates. So near the fence, that's definitely colder, which is good in summer, if it's super hot and you want something that needs cooler weather. But okay, we're going to take some from the middle. And what I have a Ziploc bag, and we're just going to put this in the Ziploc bag. What is today? Today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Although you'll be seeing it after. Okay, so this is the zucchini bed, former zucchini bed. Okay, so now let me show you. Okay, so this is the test that I got. It's called the Luster Leaf Rapitest Soil Test Kit. So this is what it looks like. It came in like a plastic container, but I threw that part out. They have a pH preferences list for popular plants, and then they have 4 of these test vials. Let me show you the other ones. So we're testing for 4 things. We have the pH test, which is the green one. We have nitrogen, which is purple. We have phosphorus, which is blue. And then we have potash, which is orange. So the instructions are really, really detailed. And so you want to make sure to read these thoroughly, because there's some slightly different instructions depending on which test you're doing. So I made sure to read through it and make sure I was doing it right, because if you don't do it right, then you're not going to get an accurate test. All of the tests except for pH, you actually have to let the soil settle in water. So this was the test. I need to dump this out. This was for the cucumber bed. So you can't do that one right away. Today we can do the pH test. So you have your container, you take the top off, and it does say that you can get better results, or it's easier to handle if you let the soil dry out but I want to get this done, so it wasn't hard at all to work with it being damp. And you'll see this line here says to fill with soil, and the other line is with water. All right, so what I did is I used a plastic butter knife to carefully scoop the soil in there. Okay, so as you can see, I filled it with that. Then I'm going to fill it up with water. Preferably use distilled, because you don't want to use, if your water is very heavy in minerals, you don't want to use that, because that could throw off results. So let me go grab some distilled water. Okay, so I have my distilled water, and the kit comes with this dropper. Oh, wait a minute, before I put the water in, sorry, you need to put the activator in. So they look like pills. So we're gonna grab a green one so it matches the green. So all you do is you try to carefully open it up like it's a capsule. It's not a, you know, it's like a gelatin capsule type of thing. Okay, so I put the activator in there. I'm gonna fill up to the water fill line up here with distilled water with my dropper. Shake thoroughly. I want to make sure that's on really, really tight. Okay, shake thoroughly, and then you'll allow the soil to settle and let this sit for about a minute. That's what the instructions say. So now we're gonna let it sit for 1 minute. Where's my phone? Okay, so it's been 1 minute, and it says to compare the color of the solution against the chart. It doesn't say to shake it back up. And it also says that to do it in daylight, not direct sunlight, but to do it in daylight for best results. So what do you think, you guys? Let's go over here. Ooh, we don't want direct. I mean, that's pretty dark. It looks darker through the camera lens, but it's a pretty dark green. So I would say, I mean, it's not quite as dark green as the 7.5, but it's not a brighter green like the 7.0. So I would say it's closer to 7.5. So the zucchini bed is definitely alkaline. Okay, so now we're going to prepare this soil for the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash tests. So it says to do a 1:5 ratio, one of soil and 5 of water. And a mud pie. All right, so here's a 1/4 cup of soil. We're gonna do 1 1/4 cups of water. So it's a 1:5 ratio. So basically 1 of these of dirt, 5 of these of water. Thoroughly shake or stir. Where's my cap? So now it says to let it sit for at least 30 minutes up to 24 hours, depending on the soil. So like if you have a clay soil, that's more dense and will take longer to drift to the bottom than like a sandy one. I'm gonna put this on top of the fridge so that Max, our toddler, doesn't get to it and spill muddy water all over the floor. So then probably, I guess tomorrow we'll finish this up and I will show you the tests, the other 3 tests. So stay tuned. All right, everyone, it is the next day. It's Tuesday and my dirt solution is ready to go. It's been about 24 hours since I put this together. So now we are going to do the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash tests. So let's just do nitrogen first. This is the purple container. There is a fill line, the dotted black line. So you're going to take your soil solution. Be careful to not disturb the sediment that's on the bottom. And it specifically says to only get the liquid, like don't get the mud that gathers at the bottom, and it's gonna be super thick at the bottom. So just take from the top. So So you're gonna take your dropper and let's see. So you're gonna, it's kind of like a little science experiment. So then you're going to fill up your container to the fill line. Yeah, and you can see like, oh, my hand is shaking. It's just liquid. It's just liquid in there. So, okay, make sure it's even. You don't want to put too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fill up all of these, because remember we have to put the activator pill in there. So each one has the corresponding colored pill. So I'm gonna fill up each of these tests with the water solution, or the dirt solution, whatever you wanna call it. And then, because they all have to read for 10 minutes. So the pH 1 was only 1 minute, but these have to read for 10 minutes. So nitrogen is purple. So I'm gonna try to carefully open it up. Some of these can be a little bit difficult to open, so I'm going to open it almost all the way, but then set it down really carefully and do that to the other two. So almost open it all the way up, so you kind of like twist it and it's like a cap that comes off. So then I'm gonna carefully set that down so that the powder, it's a powder in there, so the powder doesn't come out. This is so tiny, I don't know how well this is gonna show up. All right, so then let me just double check my directions, make sure I'm doing everything correctly. Pour the powder into the liquid and then shake. Okay, so I'm going to do this in rapid succession, so I'm gonna try to aim this here. Okay, I'm gonna do this in rapid succession. I'm going to pour the contents of each capsule into the liquid, and then I'm going to cap them and shake them all at the same time. Okay, now we're gonna cap them really, really tightly, and then shake them well. So now I'm going to set my phone timer for 10 minutes. Okay, you guys, my timer is going off, so it's been 10 minutes. So let's look. There are specific instructions. So it says that if the blue one, so phosphorus, it says if you see blue flakes at the bottom, shake it. Okay, so we're gonna read the blue one first. So I do see blue flakes at the bottom. So we're gonna shake this one and then read the results. I don't know, it's like, I'm gonna hold it up to the camera because it's, to me, it's more brown than anything. I'm gonna say it's depleted because it is not blue. It's like a grayish. So that would be depleted. So phosphorus is depleted. In the orange one, the potash, if there seems to be things at the top of the test chamber, don't shake it, okay? So this is very, very important. Let's see. So there's what it looks like. Again, I don't know how true to color the screen is, but I'm gonna say it's, yeah, I think it's, yeah, sufficient, yeah. I think we're good on the potash. That is sufficient. And then oh, this is super weird. Look at how it's separated. Yeah, that is definitely brown. So I'm gonna say it's depleted. It's not purple at all. So phosphorus and nitrogen are depleted from my zucchini bed, my former zucchini bed, and potash is sufficient. Out of the two beds that I've tested so far, the cucumber / patty pan bed and the zucchini bed, both have basically been the same results. It'll be interesting to see if the tomato one is any different. Cucumbers and zucchini, they're both kind of similar plants, so maybe that's why the soil is the same. It'll be interesting to see if the tomato beds are any different or the same, or the herb bed or whatnot. If I test several more beds and they're the exact same result, I'm probably going to stop testing, because I can, at that point, maybe if I do the tomatoes in one other bed, I could probably safely assume that all of my beds are the same because I got the dirt from the exact same place. So maybe just 1 year of planting wasn't enough to change the makeup of the soil. And so I don't really need to go testing every single bed. So that is how you do the Rapitest Soil Test Kit by Lester Leaf. It really is super easy. You just have to make sure to follow the instructions very, very, very carefully. And then also it gives you instructions on how to adjust the pH and fertilizer recommendations based on if you're depleted or deficient or adequate or surplus or sufficient. So I'm gonna have to look at this and see what I need to do for my bed. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with all those details, but I encourage you to test your soil because it's not totally necessary. I don't think I could have skipped this step and just planted and hope for the best, but I wanted to give my plants the best chance they have. We're not here that long, you know, Black Rifle Homestead, we're a military family, so we don't have years and years to work this soil. So that makes it worth it for me to do the soil testing because that'll give me the biggest bang for my buck. So I encourage you to go do that. Let me know what your test results were for your soil if you did it, and leave me any questions below. Thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.